Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon to Canisians, teachers, parents, and everybody else that's here in the third day of Education Fair 2021. My name is Maximilian Bambang, and it's my greatest honor to become your host for today's session. Now, without further ado, let us invite our speakers on today's very great session from University College London and Jack Study Abroad, Mr. Martin White and Miss Ingelia Fong. To Mr. Martin and Miss Ingelia, the stage is yours.
All right, thank you so much, Max. Halo, selamat sore semuanya. Perkenalkan saya dengan Inge dari Jack Study Abroad. Semoga semuanya dalam keadaan sehat ya hari ini. Hari ini kita akan ngomongin atau memberikan informasi sedikit mengenai study in top 10 universities in the world bersama dengan UCL, University College London. Dan hari ini aku juga nggak sendiri, aku ditemani nanti ada Mr. Martin White dari UCL yang akan memberikan informasi lebih lanjut mengenai UCL sendiri. Sebelumnya, izinkan aku memperkenalkan mengenai Jack Study Abroad dahulu. Next, Martin. Oke, ini agenda kita. Alright, ini agenda kita hari ini. Jadi kita akan ada introduction dari aku mengenai Jack Study, lalu dilanjutkan oleh presentasi mengenai UCL dan juga ada question and answer. Next, please. Mengenai Jack Study dulu, Jack Study adalah konsultan pendidikan luar negeri. Jadi kita berdiri di Singapura tahun 2005 dan kita ada di Indonesia sejak tahun 2014 dan kita punya banyak sekali kerjasama dengan universitas yang ada di luar negeri. Contohnya ada di UK, US, Kanada, Singapura, Australia, Eropa dan juga New Zealand. Next, please. Nah, ini adalah service yang diberikan oleh tim Jack Study Abroad. Jadi kita bantu kalian untuk bisa kuliah ke luar negeri mulai dari awal sampai akhir, yaitu mulai dari free consultation mengenai service atau mengenai pilihan jurusan dan juga universitas. Lalu di kantornya Jack Study kalian juga bisa dapetin IELTS preparation atau kalian misalnya butuh IELTS preparation kalian bisa ambil di kantornya Jack Study. Nanti jika sudah tahu universitas mana yang akan kalian apply, kita akan bantu untuk application prosesnya. Lalu juga kita bantu untuk student visa application, tiket, penjemputan di airport, dan juga akomodasi. Servisnya lengkap banget. Yang aku mau highlight di sini adalah servis ini semuanya gratis, jadi tidak ada biaya sama sekali. Sekalian bisa ngobrol dulu dengan kita, kasih tahu ke kita study plan-nya kalian. Jadi kita akan bantu mulai dari awal sampai akhir. Jika kalian nanti berubah pikiran ternyata nggak jadi ke luar negeri juga tidak ada penalti. Jadi bisa langsung kontak kita aja. Next, nah, cara kontaknya gimana? Next, Martin. Oke, cara kontaknya gampang banget. Ini adalah dua kantor kita, ada di Gading Serpong dan di Tangerang. Ada di Gading Serpong, Tangerang, dan juga di Pondok Indah, Jakarta. Kalian bisa kontak kita, yang kantor mana aja sama aja ya. Dan kalian juga bisa lakukan Zoom untuk consultation juga seperti ini ya. Oke, next. Lalu aku juga mau invite kalian untuk datang atau untuk daftar ke acara virtual Global University Expo kita nanti tanggal 25 sampai 26 September. Di sini acaranya mirip seperti ini, EduFair, dan juga kita akan hadirkan beberapa bintang tamu spesial yang akan sharing pengalaman mereka pada saat mereka kuliah ke luar negeri nanti. Nah, untuk cara pendaftarannya juga gampang banget. Kalian bisa scan barcode yang ada di layar kalian, atau kalian juga bisa follow Instagramnya Jack Study, nanti bisa langsung klik di bio Instagramnya Jack Study untuk pendaftaran. Next, please. Nah, itu sedikit dari aku. Kalian bisa screen capture juga alamat ataupun nomor WA-nya kita. Jadi kalian bisa langsung konsultasikan study plan-nya kalian dengan kita. Oke, sedikit dari aku mengenai Jack Study Abroad. Now I will hand it over to Martin to explain more about University College London.
Thank you very much, and thank you for that warm welcome, Max. Yes, and my name is Martin, and I am from the UCL Centre for Languages and International Education. And we really prepare students for their future degree. And I'm going to talk to you a bit about how we do that with our UCL Foundation. You've heard a bit about this already, but just quickly, I'm going to talk a little bit about UCL. Then I'll talk about our foundation year. And then we'll leave lots of time at the end for any questions that you may have. So please do use that time. I'm here for any questions that you may have and happy to answer them. So a bit about UCL. As I'm sure you know, we are one of the best universities in the world. We're currently ranked number 8 in the world, number 4 in Europe, and number 4 in the UK. And that's according to the QS World University Rankings 2022. And we're also the only UK university in the top 10 here to offer a foundation year. So you will be taught definitely by the best academics at the best university for your foundation year. And we're also fortunate to be located in the centre of London. So just down there, you can see where the UCL campus is. And most of your teaching will take place in that one area of London. We're about a 7-minute walk away from British Museum. We're about a 15-minute walk away from Oxford Street, which is the main shopping street in London. And we do use London as our campus. And the majority of our accommodation is a 15-minute walk away from that UCL symbol that you can see there, the UCL campus. So it's a great place to be living and a great place to be studying. I'm just going to share with you a short video which will really just introduce quickly the type of university that UCL is and the type of student that we're looking for, and also just give you a bit of our history as well.
UCL has been continuously challenging convention, thinking even bigger, and disrupting the status quo since its founding in 1826 in Bloomsbury, London. Today, UCL's values continue to inspire, impact, and move the world forward, more so than ever before. While diversity, inclusion, gender, and social justice have become the latest campus buzzwords, these once radical ideas have guided UCL since the beginning. Inspired by philosopher Jeremy Bentham, UCL opened up university education to the many, not the few. UCL was the first university in England to welcome students of any religion or social background, welcome women to university education, offer the systemic teaching of English, law, and medicine. With 44,000 students from over 150 countries around the world and a network of 300,000 alumni strong, UCL is still steadfastly guided by Bentham's beliefs and continues to impact the world in ways beyond Bentham's wildest imagination. Today, UCL is London's global university, pioneering new approaches to teaching and learning and leading the world with our groundbreaking research across a huge range of disciplines, many consistently ranked among the top in the world. From climate change to COVID-19, infant mortality to social inequality, the world is facing huge challenges. At UCL, we're determined to solve them. UCL has always been the place for problem solvers, doers, and brave thinkers, driving the next generation of progress. As our society faces increasingly complex challenges requiring even braver solutions, now more than ever, the world needs UCL, and UCL needs you.
So I'm hoping that gives you a good insight into UCL. I'm now going to talk about how you can access UCL, and that would be via our International Foundation Year, which we call the Undergraduate Preparatory Certificates, because it prepares you for your undergraduate degree programme. As I'm sure you know, a foundation year is 1 year of study, which typically you do after high school, but before you start your undergraduate degree programme. And at UCL, it's only for students who do not have a qualification to enter a UCL degree programme directly. So for example, that would be with the Indonesian high school qualification. And what it gives you after that year, it gives you a qualification which is recognised by every UK university for entry onto their undergraduate degree programmes. And as I said before, it prepares you, so it gives you the academic skills and the academic knowledge that you will need in your undergraduate degree programme. We will teach you exactly like you will be taught in your undergraduate degree. So it's really a transition year as well from school to university, which a lot of other students don't have, that go from school straight into their undergraduate degree programme. So students say it really does help them succeed in their undergraduate degree. We'll help you apply for your undergraduate programme. And we currently guarantee you an offer for over 200 UCL degree programmes. Now, entering UCL, both for the foundation programme and for an undergraduate degree, is competitive. UCL receives over 55,000 applications for undergraduate study, and we've got about 4,500 places. So to be guaranteed an offer, if you're predicted to meet the entry criteria, is obviously a huge bonus. So as I said, the foundation year is 1 year. And it's a very busy year. Two main things are happening. You're obviously being taught, those that academic knowledge and those academic skills in the 3 terms, so term 1, term 2, term 3, but you're also applying for your undergraduate degree programme. So you join us in September, and if you want us to support you for application to Oxford or Cambridge, we have a selection process for that. You would need to apply to them by the 15th of October. For everyone else, we'll help you in your application up until December. And in December, you have your first end of term tests. Now, these are important. They're worth about 10% of your final grade, but also they will help the teachers predict the grade you will get at the end of the course. And so you need to be predicted the best score in order to receive the undergraduate offers from the best universities. You then come back to us in January, there's more teaching, more assessments, and then you have your final exams in June. And then depending upon your results will depend where you go. So we offer the 2 pathways. We offer science and engineering, and we offer the humanities pathway. And so science and engineering is obviously for people interested in science and engineering, humanities, social sciences. What I really recommend you do is, before you start thinking about a foundation programme, think, what undergraduate degree programme do I want to study, and at what university? Because that will really determine which pathway you take, and then which optional modules you take. So every student will take 2 compulsory modules, so academic English, where we'll teach you how to use English in an academic environment, how to reference properly for a UK university, how to take notes in a lecture theatre, how to participate in seminars, how to write a 10,000-word assignment, and then a research module. You'll then pick 2 optional modules depending upon your undergraduate degree aim. So how do you know what optional modules to take? Like I say, first of all, think, what degree programme do you want to study and at what university? Then go on to their undergraduate prospectus website, look at the degree. So here we have chemical engineering, and then look at the subjects under the A-levels. So the A-level subjects are maths and chemistry. So therefore you would need to take maths and chemistry on the foundation if you wanted to study chemical engineering afterwards. For something like geography, they'd ask for geography. Economics would ask for mathematics. Some subjects, some degrees don't have any specific subjects. So then you could choose the 2 subjects that you are most interested in, or also the 2 that you are strongest in, because obviously you need to get the best grades in order to get the best result after the foundation and go to the best university. So where do our students go after the foundation year? So last September, 83% of our students went to one of the top UK universities. And by top, I mean the Russell Group. The Russell Group's very similar to the Ivy League in the US. The Russell Group is the top 24 research-led universities. And on the right-hand side, you can see where our students went last year from the Russell Group. From that 83%, 57% stayed at UCL. That's quite a typical ratio for the last few years. Typically around 80% of our students will continue to the Russell Group, and 50% of those would stay at UCL. The other ones would go to, other students would go to other universities. Typically 1 or 2 would return home because of changes in their circumstances. We're still getting the degree progression for this year, and that will be on our website hopefully in the next couple of weeks. It currently looks as if 70% of students actually will be progressing to a UCL degree this year, 70%. So obviously much higher than many years in the past. We also have one student who's progressing to Cambridge and another student who's progressed to the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons. So we're very proud of them as well. So I'm just going to talk very quickly about how you can get into the course. So we are competitive, as I said, and so we have 3 stages. There's the application form, there's the entrance tests, and then there are the interviews. And you need to pass all 3 stages in order to receive an offer. So what are the entry requirements? So these are the entry requirements for this September, and they were a mark of 8 in your high school, and then an English language qualification of 5.5 if you are aiming for science and engineering, or humanities is 6.0. And we do require that you have your English language result at the time of application, because we do not make conditional offers. All of our offers are unconditional. So you must have an UK IELTS ideally at the time of application. You then fill in the application form. And applications typically open in November. You provide transcripts, so your previous 2 years, so years 10 and 11, plus any transcripts you have from your final year. So term 1, term 2, etc. A reference from your teacher, a 500-word personal statement explaining why you want to study the foundation, why you're suitable, and why you want to study your undergraduate degree subject. A portfolio if you're applying for the architecture pathway, and then your English language qualification. If you meet our requirements, so if you meet our academic requirements, you meet our English language requirements, you have a good personal statement, we will then invite you to take the entrance tests. And this is really the fairest way we can see to make sure that we're selecting the right students. We typically receive 1,000 applications and we have 168 places. And so you'll take 1 or 2 tests. If you're applying for science and engineering, you'll take 2 tests in the 2 subjects you're applying to, so biology, chemistry, maths, or physics. If you're applying for humanities, you'll take a critical thinking test. And if you want to study maths, you'll take a maths test. Each test is 1 hour. And I really recommend you go onto our website. We have sample tests on our website. Go onto our website and try the sample tests. Get us used to the style and the type of questions that are being asked. If you pass the test, so a pass mark is 50%, your application will go back to the admissions tutor who will decide if to invite you to an interview or not. The interview will be 20 minutes. And if you pass the interview, we will then make you an offer to study on the course. Once you receive your offer, we'll hold your place for 2 weeks. And then if you accept it, you can then apply for accommodation and we will guarantee you accommodation. And then we will start the visa process with you. I know there is the question about living expenses, so that is the next slide. So these are the tuition fees. So for university, you really need to consider 2 costs, tuition fees and living expenses. So the tuition fees for the foundation year on the left, for 1 year of an undergraduate degree program are on the right. And the National Student Money Survey recommend around £11,000 a year to study in London. And that's on a 39-week term, assuming you would go back home over the summer. So typically around £291 a week, they predict. Obviously, some students can live for a lot more than this because they've got very expensive tastes. Some live for a lot less, but that is an average that is given. I'm just leaving you with my contact details if you have any questions after today. But obviously, Jack Study Abroad, as you've heard, are in Indonesia. They are our representative, and they are there to also help you and support you in application. Thank you very much for your time. I'm now going to pass over to Max. I know there's a couple of questions in the chat, but I'll just pass back to Max to facilitate the question and answer session. Thank you, Max.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Martin. What a very great and resourceful presentation. All right, we will be now moving on to the question and answer session. Now, there seems to be a lot of questions regarding scholarship. Would you mind maybe explaining on the scholarship situation?
Yeah, unfortunately, in the UK, there aren't that many scholarships that are offered at undergraduate level. Most scholarships really tend to come in at postgraduate, especially PhD level. For the foundation year, we don't unfortunately offer any scholarships. What we do offer is we offer 2 scholarships at the end of the foundation year. So one on humanities and one on science and engineering. The student on both course who got the highest grade at the end will get a scholarship for their undergraduate degree program if they stay at UCL. And that is what we do offer.
All right, so that, people, is the scholarship situation there. All right, so next question. There is a question asking regarding the double degree, if UCL maybe offers a double degree choice.
Yeah, so the UK, as I'm sure people are aware, the UK is very different from the US in that the UK is very, the word has just slipped from my head. I'm going to explain it. So basically, you come in and you study a discipline specific. You come in, you study a degree from the very first day, your very first year. In the US, it's more general your first year, and it's easier to change degree program after your first year. But in the UK, it's really hard to change degrees after the first year. You come in, you study economics, you'll be doing micro and macroeconomics from day one. There's no general first year. But the UK, there are a number of different degree options. So you have single degrees. You'd have, I'm just trying to think, economics. You then have 2 types of double degrees. So you'd have economics and philosophy, which is 50-50. You're going to study 50% economics, 50% philosophy. You then have degrees with, so economics with philosophy. With means it's going to be a 75-25 split. So 75% economics, 25% philosophy. And also what the UK is starting, well, for the last 10 years, UCL launched about 10 years ago an arts and sciences degree, where really students take a combination. So they pick 2 subjects and then they'll look at those 2 subjects. So they might pick economics and they might pick geography. And they would look at the same situation and they would look at that, at how an economist would look at the situation and how somebody studying geography would look at that situation. And then they discuss that with their classmates who are studying different subjects. So there is definitely a big wealth of degrees. And typically, yeah, what is offered is a case of just looking at different university websites, and just all of the degrees will be listed there. We do some double majors.
Okay, so next question. There seems to be a lot of question regarding the job conditions here. So they're asking if maybe there's a connection with a few companies, or maybe also they're also asking about part-time jobs, if maybe they can do part-time jobs while attending UCL.
Yeah, so obviously you need to take into consideration the challenges of the year. Obviously you are there to study and you want to get the best grades to ensure that you go on to the best universities, but definitely, I mean, with the UK government and with visas, it is possible to work during study, and it's possible to work during holidays as well. So if you enter with a student visa, then you can study work whilst you are studying. At UCL, we have it's called kind of like an employment agency. It's called Unitemps, and students can register with them, and they will let students know of any jobs that are going around the university. Obviously, we're in London, so there are lots of jobs available as well. And there's lots of jobs at UCL, in the coffee shops, in the bars, in the shops, giving tours of the campus. And then you've got your degree program. So we really, at UCL, we have two types of careers officers. So there will be the UCL careers officers, who are there to help all students with their resumes, their CVs, with interview practice. And then quite often in departments, there will be careers officers who can help you connect with employers more closely related to your degree subject. A couple of our degrees do have an internship in them, but not many, to be completely honest. A couple do have like a 6-week internship, but we definitely can put you in touch with some employers, but we will also be looking for students to really get out and find opportunities themselves. And there are so many opportunities out there in London and in the UK. I know students that have gone on and done amazing things in the summer. So there are the opportunities out there. It does just take a bit of enthusiasm from students to go out and find those opportunities.
All right, so unfortunately, we have run out of time in this session. It has been a very wonderful and resourceful session, of course, from Ms. Inge and Mr. Martin. So thank you so much, Mr. Martin and Ms. Inge, for your presentation today. I think a lot of these students are really, really helped by your presentation and the Q&A session before. Okay, so thank you so much for attending Education Fair 2021. We really hope you would be able to attend again next year. Now, maybe there will be a few closing statements from you, Mr. Martin, regarding...
Yeah, first of all, I would just like to thank Max so much for his amazing hosting skills. And thank you, Max, so much. And really just to say, you know, getting into a university like UCL, it is competitive. You know, we are looking for the best students, but we've had a number of Indonesian students that have gone on to do amazing things. And most, if not all, of our Indonesian students have gone on to top universities. We currently have one studying at Imperial College London, a number are studying at UCL on their undergraduate degree programs as well. So although it's competitive, we do see that Indonesian students do very well on the course and in their future degree. So if you do have any questions, do please feel free to reach out to Jack Study Abroad or myself at any time. And we are here to help you and to support you through the process of deciding where to go and then the application process. So don't ever be afraid to reach out to one of us, and don't be afraid to try. There is lots of possibilities out there.
Okay, so once again, thank you so much, Mr. Martin and Ms. Inge. To everybody whose questions maybe have not been answered during the Q&A session, don't forget to attend our booth, and your questions will be answered there by Mr. Martin and Ms. Inge. Okay, so that will be all for today's session. Thank you so much for attending, and this event is sponsored by